All right, geometry students, here we are, lesson 6.8, doing our remote learning. I thought I'd make a video that kind of goes through the lesson in Apex for 6.8, just in case it's helpful to see the video. You can use it. If not, then that is fine too. But here's what we are up to today. So we are working on, first we're going to review finding area. So this is one part of 6.8. All right, this here is not what we're doing today. That was 6.7 yesterday. All right, same with this over here. This was 6.7, but we are up to this here. So we're going to review finding area of a circle. Then also we're going to take a look at how to calculate sector area. Okay, so this is something new. All right, so first let's take a look at calculating the area of a circle. All right, so here's our classic formula. This is something that I know you've done at some point before, probably several times, but it's pi times the radius to the power of 2. Okay, so if we have a circle here that has a radius of 4, calculate the area, we would simply plug all that into our formula. So we would take pi, which we're going to use 3.14, times the radius, which is 4 to the power of 2. Okay, and I apologize about the writing. Working at home, I don't have the best tools to make these videos, so I'm doing what I can here. Okay, so first of all, we got to take 4 to the power of 2 before we multiply by 3.14. Okay, so if we do that, we're going to get 3.14 times 16. All right, and if you work that out, that is going to get you an area of 50.24. And let's see, we don't have any units here to work with, so we wouldn't have to put anything down. All right, so there's a nice review on area. Let's take that, let's extend it to calculating the area of a sector of a circle. Okay, so here's the formula we got, and this is what they're talking about. So this area here in orange, this would represent a center of a circle. If you notice, we have a central angle coming out of that circle, and it is this area here in between the angle and our arc. Okay, so this would represent a sector of the circle. Okay, and our formula, like Apex gives us, is this right here. The area of a sector is equal to pi times the radius to the power of 2. Okay, so first of all, notice this section of the formula is actually just the formula for the area of a circle. Okay, so that's all this part is. So they take that and they multiply it by this fraction. All right, real similar to what we did in 6.7. So this fraction is the measure of the arc divided by 360. Basically, this portion of the circle, or this fractional part of the whole entire circle, is what you're multiplying the area by. All right, so it would be whatever this part is. Okay, so I'm going to modify this formula a little bit, and I'm going to use this one. Area is equal to pi times the radius to the power of 2 times the measure of the arc, all divided by 360. Okay, this simplifies it a little bit, and it takes the fraction part out of it. Okay, so we'll be working with this formula here on our lesson today. All right, let's look at our first problem of calculating the area of a sector. Okay, so here's what we got. If you notice, this area in gray is our sector of the circle. Its measure is 131 degrees, and we just want to calculate what is the area of this space of the circle here. Okay, and we have all the information we need. We know the radius, and we know what the degree measure is of that arc. Okay, so here's our formula. Area of the sector is equal to pi times the radius to the power of 2 times the measure of the arc divided by 360. All right, so all I need to do is just plug in these numbers and then calculate what I get. Okay, so if I start putting in the numbers, area is going to equal 3.14 for pi times 12 to the power of 2 times the measure of the arc, which is 131 degrees, all over top of 360. Okay, so there's everything in the formula. And first we're going to calculate everything up here on top. So when you do that, you want to make sure you follow your order of operations. You want to take your radius to the power of 2 first, right? If not, you're going to get a way different answer. Okay, so do that first. So you should end up with area is equal to 3.14 times 144 times 131 for our arc measure, all over top of 360. Okay, so then if you calculate all that, multiply everything up on top, divide by 360, you're going to end up with an area of 164.53. And our units are in meters. There we go, fix that 5. So we're going to have meters to the power of 2. All right, so there's our area of the sector of a circle. All right, let's go through another example and we'll see that formula again and use it. Okay, so here's our next sector that we're finding the area of. It's this space right here, this fractional part of the circle. So if we start putting our numbers into our formula, our area is equal to the pi, which is 3.14, times the radius to the power of 2. So we're going to have 5 to the power of 2, times the measure of the arc, 25 degrees, all over top of 360. Okay, there's all the numbers we need in the formula. Remember to calculate 5 to the power of 2 first, and then multiply everything. So if you do that, multiply it all, and then divide by 360, we're going to skip right down to the answer here. We would end up with an area of 5.45, and that's in feet. So we'd have feet to the power of 2. Okay, so that would be how we would calculate the sector. It's not too bad, a pretty simple formula to use. I'm going to have you guys try one on your own, see what you come up with. Take a look at that, see what you can calculate for the area of the sector, and then we'll check your answer here in just a minute. Pause the video, do your calculations, and then we'll see what you come up with. All right, let's take a look at what you guys got for an answer to this. Okay, so here's our formula that we've been using. All right, and then here's all the numbers plugged into that formula. And then if you calculate everything, starting with 16 to the power of 2, you're going to end up with 80.384 inches squared. All right, and that would be your area of that sector. Okay, hopefully that worked out for you. I have one more problem type to show you. It's just a little bit of a modification from what we were just using. Okay, so this time we're going to calculate the sector area of a circle, and we're already given the area of the circle. Okay, so take a look. So they're telling you the area of the circle is 36 meters squared. We don't have any pictures here, but we do know that information. And we do know that the measure of the arc is going to be 40 degrees. Okay, so take a look at our formula, and I'll tell you how we're going to do this. So our formula for calculating the area of the sector of a circle is area is equal to pi times the radius to the power of 2 times the measure of the arc divided by 360. That's what we've been working with. And when I first introduced you to this formula, I told you this part here represents the area of a circle. All right, pi times the radius to the power of 2. Okay, so this part here represents the area of a circle, which we're already given that calculation. So it saves us a little bit of steps because pi times the radius to the power of 2 is this number right here, because we're already given the area. So if I plug that into my formula, it's going to look like this. The area of the sector is going to equal 36, because that's the number we're given for the area of the circle, times the measure of the arc, 40 degrees, all divided by 360. All right, so it really just shortens up our formula a bit. Multiply these up here, divide by 360, and you should end up with an area of exactly 4 meters squared. All right, so that would be how we would calculate it if we're given that piece of information. All right, that's about all I got for you guys today in 6-8. So try some of those on your own, see how it goes. Reach out to me if you got any questions. Here's your work that you guys have to do for 6.8 in Apex. And I hope to see you guys soon back in class. Thanks for watching.